Hey there, this is Sam Flegal, and I'm again working on my painting, Tears Promise. Today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the sky, and I'm actually going to be showing several days of painting linked together. To start off, I'm going to be glazing in some darks over what I'd done in the previous days, which you can see in some of the earlier videos. And I just want to knock this back. I wanted to create the texture, but now I want that texture to sit in the right space. So in order to do that, I'm glazing in both warm and cool darks over the top of the painting. And then I come in with a big brush and smooth all that out, get all the brush strokes out to get it exactly where I want it. And as you can already see, you can see the texture showing through, but it's not popping out so much. And then with a rag, I'm going to come in and clean up some of the edges in the hand and the cape and the wolf where they have been covered up by the dry brushing, the smoothing out of the paint. And then just clean it up a little bit more. And that's basically it. Now I'm going to let it dry. And you may see some other parts of the painting jump in these little let it dry spots because I'm not idle while I'm letting it dry. I start working on other areas of the painting. But for this particular video, I'm focusing on the sky. Now here you can see that I'm coming in with a palette knife and starting to make shapes using the palette knife. I've got paint on the end and letting it bead up and just dragging it across the surface and seeing what interesting shapes I can create. I find this makes really great effect for nebula. I suppose it could also be used for clouds or other things. And then once I get some shapes that I like, I just start smoothing those in using a fan brush in this case. Just blending in some of those edges, creating yet another layer of texture to the sky. And after I get it pretty quickly cleaned up, sometimes I'll use OMS with a brush to pull more of the paint out. Come back in with another layer using the palette knife. You can see I've added a bit more white to the paint. I'm trying to get that effect, and you can see just a peek of it over to the left that I'm once again looking at some of the space photography from the Hubble telescope in order to help inform my decisions. I'm not following it exactly, but it's helping me see things that I might not otherwise think about, places where lights and darks meet up and interesting shapes occur. A lot of what I'm doing here is very organic. I'm sort of allowing the surface to develop and the shapes to occur just as they do. But I am guiding it, and the reference is helping me do that. So I just keep adding in little dark shapes. I should also say at this stage I'm exclusively using Linquin as my medium. I find that the walnut alkyd medium just doesn't let the paint move the way I like. This is probably because I used Linquin first, and so I'm not used to the way the walnut alkyd moves. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. And in order to put the final little touches on, I'm using a small brush, a 0 or a 1, and just adding in those little areas of white. And then once again, I'm going to let it dry. Then, of course, my favorite technique of using an old card and a toothbrush to splatter some more stars. So here I'm wanting to get some brighter stars in effect. And after I add those on, I'm just cleaning things up. That's one of the important things about letting the paint dry in between layers like this. It allows me to clean up the areas that I'm worried about. And then finally I'm going to come in with a small brush, and I'm just putting in some of the larger stars. Following the pattern that's created by using the card and the toothbrush, I just want to make sure that some nice big splotches just end up. And I'm just randomly doing it, following the things that I see, letting my intuition inform where I put things. And once that's all taken care of, once again, I'm going to let it dry. Once again, in the final stage of the sky, I'm going to be glazing in different colors in order to push the stars back. First glazing in warms over on the right side, a mix of magenta and some burnt umber. And then on the left side, you're going to be adding in Payne's gray and Davies gray. Then again, coming in with a big brush and smoothing all of that stuff out. Adding in some specific darks and using odorless mineral spirits actually to pull out some of those stars that I want to really glow so that they stand out from the glaze. Basically, by using the OMS, I'm scooping the glaze that I just added in out again. And so again, I'm just at that stage of back and forth, give and take. And that brings us to a close. As I get the sky where I want it, at this point I'm going to move on to other areas of the painting. I'm Sam Flegal. Hope you enjoyed watching this.